Hello, in this video we will implement an AI for Tic-Tac-Toe using the Minimax algorithm. In the next video we will optimize it by applying alpha-beta pruning. We will be using the minimalistic Tic-Tac-Toe game from a previous video. Don't worry if you missed it, I'll quickly walk you through the relevant parts of the code. You can also find the link to that video in the description. I will also post a link to the code. So, what is the Minimax algorithm? It's a decision-making algorithm used in two-player turn-based games. One player, called Max, tries to maximize their score, while the other, Min, tries to minimize it. The algorithm evaluates every possible move by building a game tree, where each node represents a different game state. Let's see this in action. We start with an empty board. This is the root node of our game tree. The X player, we'll call them Max, makes the first move. Each possible move leads to a new game state or a new node in the tree. Next, the O player, we'll call them Min, responds, and the tree continues to grow with every possible response. At each final state, when the board is full or someone wins, we assign a score, +10 if Max wins, -10 if Min wins, and 0 if it is a draw, as in this example. The Minimax algorithm evaluates all these outcomes and picks the move that leads to the best possible result for the player whose turn it is. Let's take a look at this picture. At the first level of the game tree, it's Max's turn. Each branch represents one of Max's possible moves. At the bottom, we see the final states of the game, and each one has a score assigned based on who wins. In this example, from this initial state, there is no chance that Max wins. So let's start coding. This is the current state of the game, where we click for each player's moves. Let me first walk you through the most important parts of the code. The game board is represented as a 2D array of integers, where -1 is an empty cell, 0 is player X, and 1 is player O. You can see the current state in the quick watch window. 0 is the X player, 1 is the O player, and -1 are all empty cells. There are some helper functions that we will be using, such as hasValidMove, which returns true if there are empty cells, and getWinningPlayer, which returns the ID of the winner, 0 for the X player, 1 for the O player, or -1 if there is no winner for the moment. And finally, here is the game loop. If the game is not over, we listen for left click. We check on which position it was clicked, and based on the current player, we update the value and check if the game is over. That's all. Let's start implementing the Minimax algorithm. You will be surprised how easy it is. Let's make a struct best move, which will hold a value. As we said, we assign 10 if Max wins, -10 if Min wins, and 0 for draw. And we want the row and the column to know which is the best possible move. Let's define Minimax function that will return best move struct. We pass parameter if the current player is Max, and both of them will change turns. Let's add some constants for better readability. Since Minimax builds and evaluates the game tree recursively, we first need to handle the final states of the game. So let's check for a winning player. and if the winner is max, we return a value of 10 and no valid row and column because the board is full. Else if the winner is min, we will return minus 10 and if there is no valid move, which means the board is full and the result is draw, we return 0. Now we can start implementing the actual algorithm. Let's create a struct best move, which will hold the current best result, and assign for initial value, if it is max, we need very small value. Let's assign the minimal integer value, and if it is min, we will assign the max integer value. You can think of this as minus infinity and plus infinity. Now let's generate the next move. Let's check if the current cell is empty, and if that is the case, we can apply the algorithm. First, we will temporarily assign the current player to that cell. Now we will call the recursive function for the other player, because after we have played, it's next player's turn. Now we need to check if the value of the current move is better than our best move for the moment. If it is max, and as we said, max is trying to maximize the score while min is trying to minimize it. So if it is max and the current move score is bigger than the best move, or if it is min and the current value is lower than the best value for the moment, we assign the current move to the best move. And don't forget to update the row and the column that led to this result. Finally, we need to undo this turn. And finally, we need to return the variable best move. Believe it or not, this is the whole algorithm. Now let's make the second player use the Minimax algorithm. We need to change this here in the game loop. Let's extract the logic that evaluates the game over, because we will need it both for the human player and the AI. So let's remove this from here and put it in a lambda. Why in a lambda? Because for making this minimalistic example, everything of the game is inside the main function, and we will need to change some of those values. Putting them in a function will mean to pass them as parameters, so it's easier to make it like this. If you're not very familiar with lambdas, this is the capture list, and ampersand means we will capture all existing variables to be able to use them inside the body. Here are the parameters. Currently we don't have any. And we paste this code that checks if there is a winning player and sets the game over state. So let's put this here. And now add the AI move. If the game is not over, let's try if everything is working. Crash. I made a typo here in the Minimax algorithm when checking for empty cell. So everything should be working now. Yes. The AI won. We have one last thing to do. The algorithm is not optimal. It doesn't consider how many moves it needs for win, and we want to win with the least possible moves. For example, here they had to play on this cell to instantly win. To fix that, we can add a depth parameter to the Minimax function. That way, we can subtract the depth from the value and have bigger or smaller value depending on the depth. Here we increment the depth, and at the start it is 0 depth. Let's try. Yes, everything is perfect now. In the next video, we will optimize this algorithm by implementing alpha-beta pruning, which will skip some nodes that don't need to be evaluated.